The following game has no ESRB rating, nor is there any sort of listing for restrictive content found within the game's description on Steam. From what I've played so far, while it is a aircraft combat game, there isn't really any blood or gore, even though there is violence and the fact that you're basically shooting down various aircraft and ground installations. So, were I to guess, if it were to have been given an ESRB rating, I would assume that it would be rated T for teen. However, that is just my opinion and uneducated assumption. So that being said, I would assume anyone under the age of 13 should not be watching this video. You have been warned.
Greetings and salutations, I am Outlier and I bid you welcome to this channel. Joining me today is of course my usual co-hosts, Snowball and Wolf. And today we're returning back to Project Wingman. The premise of Project Wingman is that it's an air combat game, and the player takes on the role of a mercenary air combat pilot, part of a mercenary organization known as Sicario. And the Sicario organization, or military air combat group, or army, or I'm not quite certain what exactly they call themselves, it's just Sicario, but that's a moot point. And anyway, they have been contracted by the country of Cascadia to help defend the country against an invading army from an organization known as the Federation. Well, technically yes, but at the same time no. Long story short is that several hundred years before the game takes place, a worldwide catalysm occurs. I believe an asteroid strikes the surface of the planet, or at the very least, pretty much every volcano on the surface of the planet goes off. That includes all the supervolcanoes, which, while it doesn't lead to an extinction level event, it basically wipes all of the old world away. And while humanity has managed to rebuild, none of the old countries are in the places that they once were. In fact, Cascadia is basically the western United States and Canada, at the very least the northwestern United States and southwestern Canada. I'm not exactly certain where the boundaries of Cascadia lie. But they are a resource-rich country, and they originally were allied with the Federation, which is basically a conglomerate of Pacific islands and landscapes, basically everything in and around the Ring of Fire, I believe, which is essentially the Pacific Ocean. While Cascadia wanted to use its resources for the benefit of mankind, the Federation basically turned what Cascadia gave them into a very large war machine. And have tried to conquer large swaths of land. And when Cascadia said, no, you can't use our stuff anymore, the Federation invaded. So they hired us to basically fight the air war, whereas their military fights the ground. And if you've seen any of the prior episodes, it's not been going well. The Cascadian military forces have been in complete withdrawal and retreat, and our job up to this point has been basically to cover the retreat, so that way as many of their forces can actually escape whatever siege that they're in the middle of, and then regroup, rebuild, and then essentially fight a guerrilla war until they manage to kick the Federation out. And if you haven't seen last episode, part of that whole kicking the Federation out was to assault what used to be the Yellowstone National Park, specifically the geothermal plants that Cascadia built there, in an effort to destroy them, so that way the Federation doesn't have any energy to draw upon. And if Cascadia can't kick the Federation out militarily, then they're going to make certain that the Federation-controlled lands of Cascadia are not going to be viable for the Federation's purposes. So they're going to make it too expensive to stay, at which point they hope that the Federation will decide to cut their losses and just up and leave peacefully. We'll see how that goes, and that's where I left it. And since the campaign really is somewhat linear, while I could play back old episodes, I haven't really played much in between then and now, so it's basically right where I left it off, and that's right where I'm going to be picking it up at. And as such, this game is of course made by Thank you again. And that being said, let us begin.
Alright, so this
and Comic, you're the only mercenary pilots on base at the moment, so this is your mission effective immediately. A few hours ago, the remnants of Cascadia's Coast Guard was able to board and raid a Federation battleship which ran a little too close to Cascadia's northern coasts. They have promptly christened it as the Eminent Domain. The Eminent Domain is a new battleship used by the Federation Navy. Equipped with top-of-the-line armament and an electronic warfare suite, it stuffs most of the utility of an entire battle group into its hull. The Independence Force are deploying resupply and escort ships to them ASAP, however, they need air support. We have the means to repair it and gain intelligence from disseminating whatever info we can from its computers, but it is imperative that it is escorted to safe harbor first. Hitman, take off immediately. Dismissed.
Even when I'm a mercenary, I still end up fishing. Come on, Monarch, let's go.
Okay, so it looks like it's just going to be me and one of my wingmen, so I don't even get my full flight here. And I'm not quite certain what the little tree-looking things are, given the fact I'm guessing this is supposed to be over water. I'm guessing that's lightning, which is an environmental hazard I've not had to deal with. And it looks like it's going to be a whole bunch of boats and aircraft. Also, from looking at the map, it looks like Cascadia isn't just the southwestern part of Canada, it's the whole western chunk of Canada and even south of Alaska, so I'm mistaken there. Anyway, let's continue. Alright, so I can start the mission, I can go back to the mission briefing, I can look at files which are various background information about factions and world entries and pilot entries, and the person who's talking about fishing was Comet. So I'm guessing it's just going to be me and Hitman 3. I have absolutely no idea what Hitman 2 is doing, and I would assume that if we were on call, he should have been sticking around. Also, the weapons security off. I'm not certain what WSO stands for, but basically the co-pilot might also be present, but she only comes on missions at which I fly a two-seater aircraft, and depending upon what the mission is, I may or may not have that option. So we start mission, should go to the plane deployment screen, which it does. So these are all the aircraft I have access to. The FD-14, the MiG-29, and the Scimitar I don't actually have access to yet because I have to unlock them. And the Scimitar is new. It looks to be an it's flagged as a multi-role aircraft, but I gotta be honest. Looks like it just has a bunch of standard missiles, machine gun pods, and unguided bombs. I'm not quite certain what URS stands for. Probably unguided rockets, now that I'm looking at it. Not quite certain what URMB stands for. Probably like a rocket missile cluster. But UGL is unguided bomb, and anything that's unguided bomb. UGBL is unguided bomb large. UGBS is unguided bomb small, and UGBS-3 is unguided bomb small 3 grouping. I also have absolutely no idea if it goes back down to weapon slot 3 what the CGP is. I'm assuming that's some sort of gun pod, just simply because it's listed as multi-purpose, and the machine gun pods, I know for a fact, are the MGPs, so I'm assuming GP just stands for gun pod. I'm assuming C means that it's faster but does less damage, or does more damage but it's slower. Whereas the MiG-29 is a fighter. It does have unguided... I'm sorry, it does carry a bunch of unguided bombs, as well as multi-lock, anti-air, and anti-ground munitions. And then the F-14 basically actually it's an intercept. It's designed for anti-aircraft capabilities almost completely, and it's mostly just multi-lock, anti-air, a couple unguided bombs, and I'm assuming standard missiles, either high capacity or high velocity, which is basically the standard missiles, but the high impact I believe does more damage but is slower, and the velocity ones do less damage but are faster. I also have access to all the other planes that I've already unlocked. So I can take the MiG-31, the SK-25U, the CR-105, which if memory serves I hate because they stick a very large metal piece of metal directly in front of the cockpit, making it hard to see. I also have access to the F-16C, the FE-4, the SV-37, MiG-21, the TF-4, and the T-21, which are basically less complex aircraft as I keep going forward. I forget which one it is. I think it's the SV-31, and not 31, the SV-37. Yeah, right here. Slot 1 contains ASM, which is anti-ship missile. And since I'm probably going to be over air a lot, that's probably a weapons platform that I actually want to take. But it only has 2 weapon slots, and if one's going to be anti-ship missile, then I can either take anti-ground or anti-air multi-lock missiles. The SAAs are also an option, but those are semi-locking missiles, which means I have to basically keep a radar lock and point it directly at my target in order for the missile to hit. Otherwise, it just basically gives up and flies off who knows where. I much prefer fire and forget missiles because in air combat, or at least in this game's air combat, I have to be constantly moving around, otherwise I get shot down. As far as I know, the SV-37 is the only plane that I have access to that actually has an anti-ship missile. Plenty of them, like the SK-25U, have a whole bunch of anti-ground missiles. Actually, no, I'm looking at it, and the SK-25U also has an anti-ship missile for slot 3, but it doesn't actually carry any anti-air missiles other than the standard missiles, which are fine, but if I'm mixing aircraft and ships, I kind of want both. whereas the MiG-31 is just basically all anti-air. So part of me thinks I actually want to take the MiG-29 for this one, just simply because it has advanced standard missiles, which are what the STDM stand for, multi-locks for slot, anti-air multi-locks for slots 1 and 2, and then multi-lock anti-ground for slots 3. Well, for slot 3, not slots 3, just slot 3. Although it does also contain the multi-lock anti-ground -2, which you'd think is a second generation variant of the anti-ground missile, but no, it just basically fires 2 missiles per hardpoint instead of 1. Which, to be fair, for the multi-lock, it fires multiple missiles anyway, but it's just the MLAG-2 fires twice as many. So as much as I think that anti-ship missiles are probably going to be good, for this mission, they also take a long time to reload if memory serves. And I definitely know for a fact I want a mix of anti-ground and anti-aircraft missiles, so I either take something I already have, or I go with the MiG. As much as I like US-based aircraft, looks like the Russians win this one. I also like having missiles for every, well, a special weapon for every slot, and not doubling up on every slot. So while I can take multi-lock anti-air for slots 1 and 2, it just basically dumps everything in slot 1 and then considers slot 3 slot 2. But I like having them all separate. Actually, can I get the... No, I can't actually get the F-14 because I don't have the funds. But anyway, so let's take the new aircraft that we have. So the... Actually, no, the STDM is not an advanced standard missile, it's just the standard missile. So I would actually get access to standard normal missiles, of which I already have, I think, like 100 or so of them. Much like other games of similar caliber, these games don't really factor realism into the number of missiles you can just pile on. So I'll take multi-lock anti-air for slot 1. Alright, so URMB is medium burst unguided rockets. Whereas URS is just unguided rockets, and UGBS is a small unguided bomb. Now I know I said that I wanted a special weapons for every different slot, well, different special weapon for every slot, but I really don't like unguided weapons. So let's just stick on more anti-air missiles for slot 2. And then for slot 3, standard anti-ground munitions, and then the dual volley anti-ground missions. Because I'm fighting boats, I should probably take the dual volley variants, even though I get less ammo. And there's I now actually have access to module selection. What is the AOA limiter? Does not tell me. So I don't know if this is just an update for the AOA limiter just came out for the as an update for the game, and it's accessible on all planes, or it's just something that MiG-29 has. Now if I hit back and go to, say, my old favorite, the FE4, I'm just selecting it just to see. No, it doesn't have access to flares. Okay. I mean, it only has access to flares. That was what I was trying to say. So the MiG-29 has a bunch of special equipment, and again, it doesn't tell me what the AOA limiter is, so I don't know what it does. And in the middle of combat, it's probably a bad time to find out, so I'm just going to stick with the normal flares, which will hopefully help with avoiding missiles. Because much like you, the enemies have a near limitless supply of ordnance as well. Alright, so let's go flying.
Alright, Galaxy getting on station. Hitman's down a pilot today, eh?
I'm sure Dirk's having fun by himself hitting more energy facilities with assassin and console.
Oh, I know he is. Normally I'd be able to monitor all of you at once, but this damn comm jamming is wreaking havoc with my capabilities. Anyway, heads up. This is resupply ship report. You remain on station for the Roger all. Highlighting Federation ships now. Hitman, sink any and all contacts in the area before eminent domain gets here.
Roger that. Alright, and it's the middle of a rainstorm. That was lightning.
We have 2 aircraft crossing into the AO. Hot.
Why do I think I'm in a cloud? Because I'm in a cloud, and it's a storm cloud. So let's not be in the cloud, especially considering...
Remain in current movement pattern. Do not stray. Let early weapons wait for attacks. We have to hold this position to trap that battleship.
I'm guessing this is going to be one of those kill everybody missions. Alright, there you go. Alright, now we chase the rabbit. Okay, so I'm guessing I'm now above the cloud cover. And you're gone. Alright, so let's get access to the anti-ground missiles, because I'm fairly certain that's the airship plug.
We are continuing with ASM planes as of current. Take out that battleship before they link up.
Alright, well as soon as I get within missile range, I will be. It looks like I'm in missile range.
Stacked up.
So away we go.
Target down.
Also,
Easy money.
the anti-ground missiles take forever to reload.
You see Pizza? My brother is a Federation sailor on the eminent domain. I just hope that things turn out okay for him.
Are we locking onto everything else? I'm guessing no. So missile away. Right, I'm getting shot at by aircraft. Well, missiles. Right, I'm guessing the red lines are railguns, because they are a thing in this game.
We need to deal with those planes before the battleship gets here, or we'll be in trouble. It's mine. Incoming bogeys. Let him fly. Confirm hit on target. That's number 15 down. Reload main battery. The multi-base inbound imminent. That should be that over comms.
Oh, that's a lot of red lines. Get back here so I can kill you. Alright, who's next? Seriously, who's next?
Hard rock, let it fly.
Guessing that missed. Back here. I'm fighting in a cloud.
Monarch, you got incoming.
That's what flares are for.
My sights.
Why is the angle always bad? Get back here.
Incoming missile. Check. Fox 2, Fox 2. Hitman 1, Splash 1.
Finally got him. more anti-ground missiles.
We'll take care of this one.
Where are you? Missiles away. We'll see who dies now. I mean, to hit one.
Cleared for guns.
Gonna hit anything? Probably not. That looked like flares. That hit something good. Alright, I think I got hit by somebody.
Stacked up. And it's mine.
Let's get rid of the guys firing the big guns. Be so inclined.
I'll take care of this one. Monarch, things locked around you. Watch him fly.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so those red lines are actually railguns.
Stacked up.
Right, and I'm not paying attention, and I got hit by a missile. Stinks to be me. We fire now? And I'm getting close to the deck, so let's head back up.
Light him up.
Trying to.
Search and destroy.
Just using more flares.
Hitman 1, locked on.
That fire? I don't think that fired anything. Let's go back to standard missiles.
Radar lock, take him down. I got my six. Missile lock.
I could just do that. Alright.
Enemy's marking line, break.
Angle looks mostly good. I mean, it hit, didn't kill him. Let's try it this time. That killed him.
Monarch, you're locked on.
And that was a bad angle.
Missile shot off.
That got him, though. Who's next?
Stacked up.
Get back here.
Fox 2, Fox 2.
Just fire that off. Alright, and somehow the anti-ground missile missed the ground target.
Stacked up.
Go. Swing back around. And fire off standard missiles. I'm guessing that took out an entire ship. Okay, cool.
Hitman 1 confirmed.
Cool, I'm going to wait until missile 2 reloads. And missile 2's reloaded, so away we go.
Taking damage. You're in gun range.
And standard missiles to take out the actual vessel. Say any air targets. I know I saw a few.
There they go.
Missile away.
Separations.
See if that actually hits. And it actually does hit. Let's try this again. I think the angle's worse now, but
Monarch shot one down.
Takes him out. Switch to the anti-ground missiles. Fire away. How many of these do I have left? I've got 23 left, 55 of those, and 140 of the standard. No. Number's not changed. Seriously, what is the ammo count for this thing? Maybe that is the ammo count. I fired 3 missiles and the number only changed once. Well, technically twice. I guess it doesn't count until either the missile is considered a miss or a hit. Alright, so in the meantime, just take out these seacraft.
Good tone.
Yeah, unfortunately the missiles haven't reloaded yet, so I gotta wait. Looks like they're going after Comet. Oh, fudge. Oh, that could have been bad. Okay, that was a hit on me. And I'm now down to 36% health. But anyway, ground missiles are loaded, so I'm going to fire them and pull up because I'm once again pointed directly at the ground. And then we swing back around to take out whatever's left. I don't need 2 missiles for that, but I guess one hit the A gun. The other for
Contact the imminent domain at bearing 000 from Bullseye.
so
This is the court. All hands prepare for contact.
Mission imminent domain. This is combat flight Hitman and AO. Coming to you feet wet. Safe status?
Loud and clear, Hitman. This is the imminent domain. Are you all for support?
All the birds you got.
Hey, give me that. This is Captain Woodward, commander of this proud vessel, and we graciously accept your help. Our CIC will feature AWACS information for priority targets. Get going, we're going to be somewhere so we can get back into it. We have surface contact in front of us. Total enemy strength is now at battle group levels. Behind and forward. Good. Activate secondary guns and load the racks on all batteries. We're not out of this yet. You got a good lock.
okay, and suddenly there's like 1,000 targets.
This isn't ideal. Ahead fail. We will lose them. All ships move up. What about those planes up top? Once that battleship goes down, we can refocus. Once that battleship takes some off.
Don't know, but I won't complain. Anyway, so that took out all of them.
The imminent domain was under shakedown. How else would she be underway?
This is Captain Bouret of the Federation Naval Group tailing you, rebel battleship. Further resistance will result in your death. Strike your colors and cease all hostilities or you will be destroyed. This is your final warning.
I say legal salvage.
Spare rams out. All right, thanks. Captain, I'm routing you back to the rendezvous. You hit that point, we should be
So I'm at 36%, so I prefer not to get hit by any more missiles. Or, you know, railguns. Okay, so that was a hit, so I'm at 14% hull. That is not good. Now we just swing all the way around.
Watch him fly.
That's a bullet hit.
You're in gun range.
I know. But you know, it's stormy weather.
Positive tone. Damn.
Okay, somebody's got a railgun. We reloaded yet? Yes, we are. Fire away.
Ground unit destroyed.
Get back here.
Enemy aircraft shot down.
You're still reloading. I'm guessing those missed. Those did not, and that's a missile. Gonna flare that. And I'm guessing I'm pointing... I would say pointing straight down again, but no, that's the horizon.
Enemies locking on. Break.
Got a few of them.
On rock, let it fly. Missile shot off.
Get back here, get back here.
Chink.
Dead.
Monarch's down.
And I'm down.
Search and rescue teams.
Because I'm not paying attention, I let a missile get behind me. Right, I mean that mostly worked. Let me try it with the F-16 just simply because the one problem I have with the dual volley anti-ground missiles is that they take forever and ever to reload. I think the MLAG don't reload faster, although they're just basically one missile, but you get 4, so it's essentially the same number of targets.
Alright, Galaxy getting on station. Hitman's down a pilot today, eh?
I'm sure Dick's having fun by himself hitting more energy facilities with Assassin and Gunsel.
Oh, I know he is. Normally I'd be able to monitor all of you at once, but this damn comm jamming is wreaking havoc with my capabilities. Anyway, heads up. This is resupply ship court. We'll remain on station for the eminent domain to link up with us. Roger all. Highlighting Federation ships now. Hitman, sink any and all contacts in the area before eminent domain gets here.
Alright, so now when I said that the multi-lock anti-ground gets 4 missiles, I'm clearly mistaken because there's only 2.
Aircraft crossing into the AO. Hot.
Alright, so let's try not to become the easy target this time.
All ships remain in current holding pattern. Do not stray. That only opens you up for attacks. We have to hold this position to trap that battleship.
Away.
Affirmative. The rest of rebel air power is heavily occupied. This must be all they can spare. Enemy on radar. Monarch 5-3.
Alright, just basically throw missiles straight into their faces. And then we go back after this guy.
Time quits Wingman 3. If the rebels can steal the battleship, think about how that makes the rest of the feds in the region look.
Is that a carrier?
Intercept group, be advised. We are contending with ASM planes as of current. Take out that battleship before they link up. Target
No, that says cannon.
Those AA guns will chew us up if we get too close, Monarch. Gotta hit them fast.
Monarch missile on the way. Ground unit knocked out.
We've got patrol boats doing basic duty. Easy money.
Radar lock, take him down. Hitman 1 within gun range.
Captain Cook,
That's a railgun.
My brother, the Federation's sailor on the eminent domain. I just hope that things turned out okay for him. I've got a lock. I don't know if we can take another hit like that. Oh, forget the mercs, go with them. Missiles away. Get into firing patterns. We need to deal with those planes before the battleship gets here, or we'll be in trouble. Cleared for guns.
Alright, I think I flew into that.
Eminent domain inbound imminent. That should be them over comms. Monarch, good luck. Ground target destroyed. Ground asset destroyed. Launch missile. Missile on the way.
Alright, get back here. There you are.
Hitman 1, Fox
Missiles away.
3.
So that hit one, but missed the primary target.
Missile
Let's try
shot
the
off.
standard missiles. Since that angle was bad, I'm guessing that didn't hit at all. Back here.
Missile is tracking. Confirmed enemy kill.
That hit. Okay, who's got the railguns?
Find your assigned targets. Enemies locking on. Break. Missile away.
Took care of those railguns.
Missile is on the way.
that AA gun. Back here. Where is this guy? Oh, there you are. The angle's bad on that one, but he still died, so I shouldn't complain.
Missile, check. Missile away. Ground unit knocked out. Fox 2, Fox 2.
Splash another one.
Monarch, you've got a good lock.
Good luck, yes, but at extreme range, so it's not actually hitting. I would like to take care of these railguns, but I will shoot at the closer target, and I think that's actually a railgun as well. Reload. Yeah, maybe.
Ground asset destroyed. Monarch with a shot.
Alright, so I'm taking the occasional missile hit. A missile, bullet hit. So my hull's down now down to 90. Trying not to actually fly into the ship. That would be a very bad idea. I don't even know what I'm shooting at. A spy ship. Interesting.
Fox 3, Fox 3.
Alright, so now we're down to 19 multi-lock anti-air missiles. It's at 30 anti-ground. 154 standard. That railgun would be kind enough to go away. And because I'm directly over the water, I'm having issues trying to figure out which way is up. Patrol boat, patrol boat, patrol boat. What are you? Cannon.
Hard lock, let it fly.
Missiles away. That's some lightning. That got taken out. That got taken out.
Destroyed.
Missile away. Go away. That hit. And you're gone. Next. so that actually missed. Interesting. So what is between this SAM site and my missiles?
Missile away.
I mean, other than the rest of the damn boat.
Stacked up.
Let's see if we can hit it from the other side. Because you take out the guns and the entire ship explodes. Whereas all the missiles that flew into the ship didn't sink the vessel because one of the guns was still active. Alright, so what do we have left? The button opens up the map. Looks like a bunch of aircraft. Interesting. Missiles away. I mean, we hit one.
Search and destroy. Monarch Fox 2.
Yeah, that's one down. Technically two down because one of the initial volley of missiles hit and blew up the target. The other two managed to escape, of which I am now chasing them down. That's a missile.
Enemy down. Good job.
Other one gone. Now we chase the rabbit. And you're gone as well. Alright, next wave.
Contact the eminent domain at bearing 000 from Bullseye. This is the court. All hands prepare for contact.
Merchant eminent domain. This is combat plane Hitman and AO. Cover team feet wet. Safe status? Loud and clear, Hitman. This is the eminent domain. Are you all for support? All the birds you got.
Hey, give me that. This is Captain Woodward, commander of this proud vessel, and we graciously accept your help. Our CIC will feature AWACS information for priority targets. Get going, we're going to be sunk before we can get back into it. We have surface contact in front of us. Total enemy strength is now at battle cruise levels. Behind and forward. Good. Activate secondary guns and lift the works on all batteries. We're not out of this yet. Monarch release Fox 2.
Alright, that's one wing of aircraft down. Wrong one.
Hitman 1 locked on.
Alright, I got 9 anti-aircraft missiles left.
Should be underway.
Got 7. Alright, and that was a hit.
This is Captain Purray of the Federation Naval Group tailing your rebel battleship. Further resistance will result in your death. Strike your colors and cease all hostilities or you will be destroyed. This is your final warning. Unlock, let it fly.
Alright, that was a miss because the angle was bad.
You hit that point, you should be able to link up with the core. Much appreciated, mercenary. Hey, Hitman, you guys could learn a little about courtesy
That was not.
from this guy.
The boss ain't paying us to be courteous, you've been great.
Hitman 1 locked on.
Alright, those missed, but I got over 100 standard missiles, so I'm perfectly fine wasting
You
it.
should see the geothermal storms back in the Federation mainland. Monarch Fox 2.
have like 6 missiles to take out, but next group is also aircraft.
Just gonna wish he was here. The ship's lead size pay out well. I'll take care of this one. Taking damage.
One down. Two down. Anti-ground missiles away. There's one.
Missile is on the way. Guns, guns, guns.
There's another one. I'm still reloading. I'm about to fly into the thing. So I take a couple bullet hits.
Enemies locking on. Break.
Of course they are. They always are. What else is new?
I'm moving to engage.
Missiles away. That was a railgun. That was a dead aircraft.
Missile is on the way.
Just in case the first one doesn't kill the target.
Stack up. Monarch, you've got incoming.
I know. I always got
Ground
incoming.
unit destroyed. You're in gun range.
Hey, that missed. That one's gone.
Monarch, miss a shot.
Not very smart. I'd be targeting whatever's firing these railgun volleys. Because, you know, it's a railgun. Or, you know, not. Okay, fine. Do this the hard way.
Monarch opening fire.
That's the deck.
Target down.
That works for me. Those are ridiculously out of range, so we should probably focus on the closer target, which is you. Standard missile away. Standard missile away. Still hitting the ship that the cannon is attached to, and we apparently will not kill the ship until the cannon dies. So, and fire off more ordnance till it dies. And it's not dead yet. Now it's dead. Moving on. Is all that's left? This looks like all that's left. I'm perfectly fine with this being all that's left. We have one radar lock. Should be getting 2. Of course, they are also at extreme ranges. No, actually I do have 2 radar locks. There they go. That's an AA gun. That's a SAM. Now we go around, fire away, and then 1 ship down. 1 more ship to go. Alright, and I have 11 anti-ground missiles left. 2... Unless it's 2 in storage and then like 4 already, so I have like 6 anti-air missiles. Can't imagine I'd only have 2, but it still gives me, 4 full bars. Okay, so that's the AA gun on the ship. That's probably all it's got left, so swing around. Give it both barrels.
Hitman 1 within gun range.
Is that everything?
Resupply ship, Gord. We have visual.
Go to the eminent domain. Link up with us and get on out of here. We've got contacts Angels 9, inbound. These look like cruise missiles from the shore. Gear deployed, ASM inbound.
Hitman 3, moving to engage.
Get the last of our AA guns ready. We can't bet on Hitman getting all of them. They're diving from above the cloud cover. Monarch, coming, intercept.
All it takes is 1 shot from these.
How the heck did we shoot down a cruise missile? It's a missile. Above the cloud cover. Let's get above the cloud cover. Alright, so where are these things? I should be headed straight for them, but I don't see anything on the radar. Galaxy did say that they were above the cloud cover, and as far as I know, I'm above the cloud cover. Also not pointed directly at them. Now I should be. Still not seeing any target locks. There we are. Of course, the angle is bad for the cruise missile, because I ended up going in the wrong direction. But on the plus side, it looks like I'm actually faster than the cruise missile, which, well, to me makes absolutely no sense. I mean, it's a cruise missile. It's designed to be fired from very far away, and to take out a target at a very far distance with a very big boom. And since there's nobody actually piloting the missile, it's quite capable of doing maneuvers that exceed, well, multiple gravities worth of thrust, and say, am I still increasing? Anyway, I should be behind them, so the angle's better, so let's fire these off. Takes out 1. I have no idea if I'm increasing or not.
The enemy's getting radar lock.
There goes the other one. I'm guessing more cruise missiles. Right, and there go the last of the anti-air missiles, so I'm now down to standards or, well, nothing. Standards are gone, I guess. Anyway, that's one. Right, I can't see, so I'm just basically lobbing missile after missile after missile, because I also don't know what's a cruise missile and what's an actual aircraft, which isn't a one-hit kill problem. Get back here. And you're dead. Of course, with the wind buffeting the plane all the way back and forth, it's making it very difficult to read the HUD. But basically, red square, shoot.
One within gun range. Monarch good release. Fox 2.
Another one bites the dust. Right, should target the stuff that's circled. That's another cruise missile.
Monarch, good luck.
I have no idea if I'm pointed at the ground or not.
Missile is on the way.
That looks like water. And that looks like a cruise missile. Yes, it is. Let us increase speed as something blows it up. I'm fine with that. Anyway, now for you. Get back here. There you are. Oh, look, more cruise missiles. Hey.
Positive tone. Ranking. The enemy's getting radar lock. All threats eliminated and scopes are clear. Good stuff, Hitman. Thank you very much, Hitman. We'll raise hell in your name next time around.
That sounds fair.
Beginning resupply and refit now.
Not too bad for just 2 aircrafts, huh, Monarch?
Hitman team, RTB.
I'm still flying 60% of an aircraft. So, I was going to say, is the mission over yet?
The eminent domain has made it to Allied waters safe and sound. Its repair and refit will ensure that we have the advantage near the coasts and at sea as long as it's afloat. Captain Woodward extends his regards and has forwarded you some items he has recovered from the former captain's quarters, most chiefly a bottle of whiskey. Stand by for your next sortie.
Okay, so that's cool. So I took out a whole pile of stuff, including 9 cruise missiles, 1 spy ship. Alright, there aren't any cruise missiles flagged for Allied kills, so I'm guessing either I took them all out or the Allied kills just cover what Comic took out, and not what the air defenses of the battleship did. So I'm fairly certain at least 1 cruise missile wasn't destroyed by me. Unless that cruise missile that wasn't destroyed by me but still exploded actually hit its target, which would not be helpful. Anyway, a whole bunch of stuff destroyed. Always fun.
Alright, so I could start the next mission, and I probably almost should have, or did. But that mission took longer than, well, I would have liked, and didn't help it got taken out once. So I don't believe I'm going to have enough time to actually do the next mission this go. So it's going to have to be saved for later. But on the plus side, the Cascadian naval forces now have a legitimate asset on their hands in the form of the Hermit domain. Battleships should not be trifled with. Not as good as, say, an aircraft carrier, but truth be told, an aircraft carrier's greatest threat and assets are the planes that it can launch. I mean, while aircraft carriers are the mainstay of the modern Navy, if they don't have any aircraft, an aircraft carrier is basically a floating shuffleboard deck, for lack of a better term. Not to insult aircraft carriers, but as I said, its main ordnance are the aircraft it flies, and if Cascadia had an air force, they wouldn't have hired us. But they did hire us, and they don't have an air force other than us, so we're holding up our end of the bargain so far, and things are progressing. Now, I did see that the next mission was entitled Clear Skies. I didn't stop to listen to the briefing because that would only make me want to play the mission, and as I said, I don't have the time to do that. So, the war, I guess, is going well. At the very least, it's not going poorly. But everything else will have to wait until next time, because I'm going to call it here. Everybody stay safe from the plague, and have a good day.